Greetings one and all. How's everyone doing? I hope well. I'm out in the National Forest today. A work day, unfortunately, but it is what it is. So, there are several videos floating around right now for the 5-pound survival challenge, which at first I really wasn't going to do. I wasn't going to do it at first, but then I get curious, like, could I get it down to 5 pounds? So I busted out the kitchen scale. It's like a little round one I bought at Bed Bath & Beyond. It was like 20 bucks. Start putting things together, thinking, what do I want to do with my kit? What am I going to need? I honestly didn't think I was going to get it at 5 pounds, but I managed to get it down to 4 pounds 15 ounces, and honestly I was pretty shocked. I was like, wow, because I don't really buy survival gear. I don't just, you know, make videos displaying survival gear after survival gear, saying, you know, this is my this is my that, and letting it sit in bags for who knows how long. Because every time I return home from a trip, I always unpack everything, put everything away, and then I always pack per outing. So it's a really nice day today though. So I'm gonna get turned around and get situated, and I'm gonna show you what I have and what I brought with me for my 5 pounds. Including the bag. Now I didn't include my EDC because I never go home without, I never leave without my EDC, ever. So I don't know if that breaks the rules. If it does, well then, you know, it is what it is. But there's no point in having everyday carry if you're not going to carry it every day. I mean, that's kind of the point of carrying it every single day. That's why it's everyday carry, so you carry it every day. The one thing I didn't bring though is my carabiner, which it is in a car. You know, so it's in a Jeep. I don't have it with me as part of this because I didn't include it in the weight, so I left that out. But I do have my Spyderco Endura 4. I have my multi-tool, and I have my flashlight, which is in my Swiss Army knife, which is basically my everyday carry. The only difference is when I'm at work, I take the knife off. So, but it's just multi-tool, Swiss Army knife, and lighter, or not lighter. Flashlight, brain fart, and then yeah, and then when I'm out, anytime I'm away from work, I carry a knife. So let me show you what I brought and why I brought it. Alrighty, so here we go. So we'll start with the small pouch. So I have a small fishing kit, which I won in an online contest. It has some hooks, some line, and a couple, looks like earplugs used as flotation. I have a quick combat gauze my buddy Matt gave me. I have some bank line cordage. I have a whistle, which, you know, sound. Now this was kind of a judgment thing, but I brought my titanium spork with me. So could I carve a spoon, or could I carve a utensil? I could. I've never done it, but rather than spending the calories carving, I could just bring one, and it's only 3/8 of an ounce. So I still made it under weight. So, and for its usefulness, I'd say it's worth the wait. Is it really necessary? You know, maybe, maybe not. I'm sure some will say it's not, but I'd say as far as usefulness goes, I'd say it's a good thing. All right, now I have my Corona folding saw, which, okay, so I know someone's gonna say, well, swap that out for the Bako Laplander. I don't own a Bako Laplander, and it comes back to, I'm not gonna buy gear specifically for a survival kit. I buy gear to use. This is something that I use quite often. And by the way, I have nothing bad, nor have ever had anything bad to say about the Bako Laplander. I just don't own one. Like maybe if this breaks, maybe someday, maybe I'll get one, but like, why get something when something else works perfectly fine? Just because I had the weight to spare, I threw in a ramen, so I'd have some kind of calorie. Another judgment call item is gloves. Now, some might say they're not needed, but I have personally had my saw bounce off my hand a couple of times, making the gloves worth it. Is it really? Are they really necessary? I'm sure someone will say they're not. To me, it's sort of a safety thing. It's like I'd rather have the weight of a glove and keep my hands safe than risk maybe injuring my hands, which I need the most, to save a little weight or swap it with something else. Along with cutting tools, I have my Bushcraft Black, which is one of my favorite blades. So on here I have my ferrocerium rod, which conveniently has a little holder here for it. And on the back I just taped on a sewing needle right here. I've never actually needed a sewing needle, but considering how little it weighed, I figured it was worth just taping it on there. Okay, so for lighting, I have my Phoenix headband. Yes, I know that there are other headlamps out there that are lighter weight, but again, I didn't have to. This is something I already had, so I didn't have to go and buy anything special to make videos. This came out of my regular kit. Along with that, I also threw in an extra battery just in case. Oh, then I have my little scraper for the ferro rod, which I just throw in my pocket. It doesn't weigh anything, so I usually just keep it right here in my front pocket. Now, so this is not M&M's, unfortunately. This is a Bic lighter, which I just bought brand new, which I needed one anyway. So I'm told that these are kind of waterproof. And it was $1, so I bought them, ate the M&Ms, and now I have something to carry my lighter in. Also, with that color, you know, if it's laying on the ground, I'd probably spot the orange pretty well. And then I have the Hidden Woodsman, I believe it's the coffee pouch. And this doesn't weigh anything. I should have gotten the weight of each item, but what I have in here is Tinder. Now, I have some cedar bark. I have birch bark in here. And at the very bottom I have like about 7 cotton balls. So I like using natural materials. Now, while I'm out here, of course, if I was in, you know, the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to look for my next fire. So I could grab tinder and hopefully dry it around the rings of my rock fire, of my fire, the stone rings that go around it. So I would start drying out my next tinder from my next fire. Speaking of next fire, I also have a cotton bandana to make char cloth, which I would do in this soup can that I had just laying around the house. I think it was stew or something. I think it was like Dinty Moore beef stew. It's never been in the fire before, but I figured I could at least boil in here. And I could, you know, cook ramen in here and make char cloth in here. So if I found a flat rock to put over top, I could make char in here for my next fire. Although I don't have a flint and steel in this kit, but I am next to the river. I could go look for a rock, and I could try to use the back of my spine of my Bushcraft Black to try to get a spark. But also, if the lighter is dead, I could just pull the safety crap off and use the spark from the lighter. So backups and backups. Now I don't have a container, but I do have a life straw. I've had this for a while. I've never used it. I figured I can always stop and get a drink of water if I need to. I could pull water out of here, filter it through this, drink, and then move on. So this sort of circumvents having a container, but I would try to salvage one, maybe around the river, maybe around, because there's a river right over here. I could go look for like a soda bottle, wash it out. I could purify water, pour it in the container, clean it out, you know, maybe do it 2 or 3 times. Then I could fill it full of water and carry water, which, you know, a lot of this stuff could go in my pockets too. I mean, the Bushcraft black can go on my belt. I mean, almost everything I could just throw in a cargo pocket, because I'm wearing my 5'11" cargo pants. And for shelter, for ground cover, I have a 3mm trash bag, so ground cover. And then I have my space blanket, which I've used once on a trip. I just kind of threw it over my sleeping bag, so I haven't actually had to sleep out with just this. And I know I'd be cold after sleeping with my wool blanket and Woodsman trail tarp. I wasn't cold, but I got a little chilled in the morning, but it wasn't too bad because I went right back to bed, fell right back to sleep, so it wasn't terrible. And that's it. And then the bag is empty. So I have something to carry it in. And that hit me at 4 pounds 15 ounces. So could I survive on this? You know, I've never had to do it, so I couldn't really say, but at least I have something to go with. So I have shelter, I have means to boil, means to drink, means for fire. I also have my Leatherman blast, which just have a saw and some tools, so I could use the pliers to pick the can out of the fire, or just use a couple sticks and pick it up. So I'm actually going to do another video where I'm going to make fire with this and use some of the items. Unfortunately, I can't spend the night. I wish I could. Ish. But I have to work tonight. So this is my 5-pound survival kit challenge entry. Thanks for watching. I appreciate your views, appreciate your comments. You know, if you have any feedback, you know, please comment away, you know, throw some discussion back and forth. Be interested in hearing your thoughts. And yeah, if you made a video, throw me the link and I'll check it out. I was watching Kullcraven Bushcraft. He did a really good video on his kit, and then he took it out and he spent the night with it. So huge props. I really have a lot of respect for him for doing that. I don't know if I could do that personally, but I don't know if I have it in me to spend a night with little items, because I've never done it before and I have no experience with it. So yeah, when I'm out here, I aim to have fun. So if I was spending the night, I would have my tent, my sleeping bag, and I would bring my gear. Like, that's what I bought it for, is to take it out and have fun and use it. So alright guys, I'll catch you in the next one. I look forward to your comments, and I'm gonna do a fire here pretty soon. It's still early in the afternoon, so I might run down the river too, get some shots, see what I can salvage. Yeah.